Hello, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Sunday morning Manchester United transfer news. Little bit worried why, you're up and running. The live comments were a little bit slow there. Anyway, let's fly straight into it. Antoine Griezmann apparently regrets not joining Manchester United this season. And in other news, the sea is blue, the earth is round, and Danny Welbeck misses a wasted opportunity. Misses a great opportunity. Essentially, I'm saying it's obvious that Griezmann regrets not joining Manchester United. I think it's very easy to say in the start of June, I'm Mr. Loyal, I'm going to stay at Atletico Madrid, they've got a transfer ban and I'm going to stay where I am. Very easy to do that in June when you've been thrown a lot of money in a very shrewd move by Atletico Madrid. But reality will bite after you've come back from your nice summer holiday and you feel like Mr. Moral and the season starts and you get sent off for diving and you're still playing in the same frustrating league where you're not going to win it, you're going to come third at best. And then you see United, this apparently boring team under Mourinho, scoring 8 goals, not letting any goals in, playing fantastic football, and you think, you know what, that Mkhitaryan position would have been mine. I'd be one of the best players in Europe in August. But dush, you know, refuse Mourinho, refuse United, refuse Manchester United Football Club and its great support at your peril, Antoine. You know, I feel sort of vindicated, justified, and very happy that you are regretful because you threw, you know, if people want to pat him on the back, fair enough, but what an opportunity you threw away to stay with Atletico Madrid. Number 7 shirt at Manchester United, and he would be in that Griezmann position. Sorry, not Griezmann, well, I call it the Griezmann position because I think it was his position to play it, but he definitely would have been in it. That's not the right one. I don't know whether I've got it up here. Anyway, we'll come back to it. But effectively, you know how Manchester United played yesterday. And where Mkhitaryan plays is where Griezmann would play. Some people would say, I'd rather have Mkhitaryan. Where is this Griezmann regret coming from? It's from a really odd tweet that he put out yesterday afternoon around the time United were playing, where it had the emoji that, angry face, emoji that again. So it was like, call me, I'm angry. Well, you've brought it on yourself, son. You brought it on yourself, and I don't really have any regrets about him. He got sent off last night, and probably a little bit harsh, but I don't, you know, Griezmann's not a problem that bothers me at the moment. I'm very happy with what Manchester United are doing at the moment, and I don't need any distractions. He's not going to come in the next 10 days. He had his opportunity. If we need him in the if we need him next summer, then maybe we can look at him next summer. But for now, not for me. Anyway. We are, you can download the OneFootball app, it's free, the link is in the video description, really good app to get your latest Manchester United news. Want to look at some of the stats as well from yesterday, but first of all, let's get a roundup of what is actually happening. So I follow Manchester United because that's the news I want to get. Let's click Manchester United, let's see what's happening in the news. Man United mood is buoyant, says Sky Sports. Manchester United transfer news, Draxler bid planned, Perisic offer, Real Madrid sweep. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Manchester United could re-sign Zlatan this month despite injury concerns. Yeah, I'd heard that as well. Free scoring United. Wants to see how Manchester United handle adversity, says Jose Mourinho. I think we did yesterday. I think it was handling adversity. Then we just pummeled them in the last few minutes. I was like, I wouldn't have been, I'm very happy with winning 4-0. It's better than 1-0. But I was quite looking forward to winning 1-0 and having that sort of, we've ground a result out. But we go again. Leicester's going to be a great game next week. Can't wait for that. Jose Mourinho backs Anthony Martial to succeed at Manchester United. That has to be the biggest news, which we discussed last night. And Memphis Depay sends Manchester United message to Jose Mourinho. He's not done anything amazing. He's playing in a pub league, but what he has said is that he sort of can see where it went wrong for him at Manchester United last season. He was ready to perform in the second season, but he didn't get an opportunity to do so. But what I wanted to just have a quick look at is what you can do on the OneFootball app, which I like, is just have a look at players' sort of stats for the season so far. So we've had two games so far for Pogba, 2 goals, 1 assist, 91 touches, 83% pass accuracy. He's doing well in his aerial duels one, which is, I said this in the first half, people wanted him to come off, but the physical side and his strength and height is very important to Mourinho. Pass accuracy, as we know, and shot accuracy 100%. 2 shots, 2 goals. Yeah, fantastic from him. You can have a look on the OneFootball app for everything you want to have a look around Manchester United players, really. But the one I want to give a sort of shout out to today, that we are aware of him. We're definitely aware of him, but he's probably not had a profile on a OneFootball app from us yet, is Enrique Mkhitaryan. Having a fantastic season. He's got 4 assists in 2 games. No goals yet. I think that'll come. Pass accuracy of 90%. 90% when you're playing in that number 10 position where the ball's coming into you, you sometimes got your back to goal, you sometimes got 2 or 3 players around you, and under those sort of pressures, 70 touches, he's had a pass accuracy of 90%. He's won 100% of his tackles, not known for that, but there you go. And he's won 100% of his aerial duels. I would say he's probably not had many aerial duels, but there you go. Total passes 103, pass accuracy 90%, and no goals for him yet. But I'm sure they will come. You can download the OneFootball app. It's free in the link description. Get your latest Manchester United transfer news on there. And also you can start looking at your player stats, because I find that quite interesting on a morning on the way to work. Let's have a look what people are saying. Somebody just said they're very lonely. Don't be lonely. Don't be lonely. We've got a fantastic community on the United Stand. Even on a Sunday morning at 11:30, there's a couple of thousand of you watching. What a great community you are. So let's talk about... we will be live tonight at 8 o'clock. Sunday Night Live, flagship show for United. Really enjoyed the show last night. Sorry it got cut off. The internet just dropped. I've got good internet. Every now and again that's going to happen. I think it's the first time it's happened in over a year. So, but we trialled it last week. We continued it last night on the game of a Manchester United game. On the evening of a Manchester United game at 8 o'clock, we'll go live Skype. It's a bonus Skype show, and you can Skype in and have your say on the game. So we will do that again. It'll be more or less straight after the Leicester game next week, because it's a 5:30 kickoff. So 8 o'clock it will be your show. Really enjoying that. Skype's back tomorrow night as well, and Thursday. So you're getting 3 a week Skype shows, which is great. Let's talk about Julian Draxler for a moment. Manchester United heavily linked to him, as are Arsenal, as are Liverpool. Surplus to requirements at PSG. Did a video on him in the week. I think he's 23 now. He is tall. I think he's 6'2", and he is available for around 35 million, maybe 40 million, which is a good price for someone like that, who is well known. He seems to have been around for a long time. What I compare any player that we're looking to bring, because he can play left side, he can also play attacking midfield, which we don't really need when you've got Mata and you've got Mkhitaryan, even Andreas Pereira, who we want to be seen given a chance. So he'd be very much a left-sided player, although he is two-footed. So similarities to Perisic, because I don't know whether we're going to get Perisic. I still feel that we could do that deal, because it's the player that Mourinho wanted. And so I think anybody else we go for, you've got to compare them to the attributes of Perisic. Now, Perisic was going to be the left wing-back in a 5-3-2, because it's, you know, that left wing-back position is, it really is a winger with some defensive responsibilities. Can Draxler do that? I don't know whether he's as hard-working defensively as Perisic would be. He's not as quick as Perisic would be. Draxler is deceptively quick in one-on-one situations when he's got the ball at his feet. That's his strength. He's very good with the ball at his feet in one-on-one situations. He's got a really good shot on him. He is two-footed. He is creative. So he'd be a very good signing for United, but despite being 5 years younger and probably having a better potential in certain attributes, he doesn't actually tick all the boxes of Perisic, because he isn't as quick and he isn't as hard working. Now, can Mourinho work on that? We've just bought Lukaku, whose first touch isn't great. That is improving. His build-up play will improve. So Draxler's around the same age. If we get him, I'd have confidence that Mourinho can improve him. I'd still want Perisic. Lamar has been mentioned. Lamar is 5'7". He's not nowhere near as big as those two. And I think, you know what? You may as well get a winger who's 6'2" and fast and skillful, as opposed to one who's 5'7", because it just gives you something else. We saw from the cross that led to the goal yesterday, United now have numerous people who are good in the air, and if you can put the delivery in, fantastic. Maybe Lamar would put the delivery in. But Lamar's not defensively anywhere near what Perisic is. He's not two-footed like Perisic is, and he's not as hard-working as Perisic, and he's certainly not as physical as Perisic. So it's going to be interesting what Manchester United do. I do think that what we did see in the first 45 minutes yesterday was that Manchester United do need to sign somebody else. And I'll keep hammering this home, because I know that it's pretty much what Mourinho will be saying to Woodward and the board. Yes, we've had a great start to the season. Yes, we've conceded no goals. Yes, we've got a +8. Yes, the fans are ecstatic with what the players are doing, and the players are doing a great job, as is the manager. But we won the first 3 games last year, and we still finished 6th. We need to keep this momentum, this graft going, and to do that, at the moment, we've got this great situation where people like Herrera, who we know are very good players, people like Martial, who we know are very good players, people like Lingard, who were playing a lot last season, who can't get on the pitch. And the morale is fantastic. Mkhitaryan said it last night. We need to build on that morale, and we need to keep and maintain it for as long as possible. I think the right signing coming in will help us improve even further, and we should, if there's an opportunity to improve in life, then you should improve. You shouldn't put it off till later. I'll deal with that later. even when you're good, if there's something you can improve on, do it. And I think Mourinho highlighted that he wanted a specialist winger. Get that specialist winger in. I don't agree with what some United fans said after the West Ham game, where we don't need anybody. I think against Swansea yesterday, whilst we won it, we had to graft really hard, and there were positions that I thought, you know, what if Martial came on and he didn't have a great game? Where's the other option? I just think that natural winger would be great, and who knows? We might bring two in. We might bring two in. I mean, I still think, for me, when I look at United and take away this amazing atmosphere and buzz of excitement around them, but I want to embrace, and we should all embrace, I do think, where are the weaknesses in Manchester United's squad at the moment? And I still think we lack a natural winger on either side, but a natural winger, which is why we should go for a two-footed player like Perisic or Draxler. I also think that if Valencia gets injured, what's the backup plan? Because if Valencia gets injured, it's all right saying, well, and I can see people in the live comments saying, let's get... well, you've got Darmian who can play there. But Darmian's a right back. But if you lose Valencia, are we just saying let's replace a right back? Or are we actually saying let's try and replace Valencia if he gets injured or gets tired? Because if you put Darmian in and you take Valencia out and Mata's playing on that right-hand side, he's not getting what you got with Valencia at all. He's not getting the bombing runs. He's not getting the energy. He's not getting the power. He's getting a sound right back who is probably just going to stay at right back. So that's where I thought it was quite interesting about Aurier or even a Fabinho, is that they are quite similar to what Valencia offers you down the right. So I think that's still a position we might look at. And the left-hand side, I think it's a 2-for-1. I think what we'll do with the left-hand side is, if we could still get a Perisic in there, or a Danny Rose even, it's somebody who can play further forward but can also fill in as a sort of wing back. Because remember, Valencia was a winger, and Luke Shaw is coming back and Ashley Young are coming back, and they may be, if one of those can just stay fit for the season, then it gives us another option there. So I do think we'll do it. We have got Twansibi Abdiallah. I think that's a very, very good shout, to be honest, and hopefully would get used. Fosu-Mensah played again yesterday. I forgot to mention that on this. Well, I didn't forget to mention it. The live stream broke, but Fosu-Mensah played again yesterday for Crystal Palace, and I believe he played for most of the game, and they played very, very well. I don't actually know, because I didn't watch it. I knew Liverpool were going to win, and life's too short to spend time watching Liverpool games. But there was a report from Football London about Fosu-Mensah that said he plays most of his youth football at centre-back and has the physique, pace and ability to thrive there. He's strong, quick and decent, if not exceptional passer, an enthusiastic player, and he needs to work on decision making, and what are Palace's odds of signing him? Not very good. I just wanted to see if there's actually a report for. Let's have a look. You can always do this live. Crystal Palace player ratings. Croydon Advertiser is a good one if you want to get a good opinion on games. So Fosu-Mensah got an 8 out of 10, and the write-up for him was very much along the lines of, best thing you can say about him is that you hardly noticed him. He was not troubled apart from the goal. And Scott Dan played well alongside him, but James Tonkins, third cog of a pretty solid Palace defence that was until they conceded, when they then struggled to keep hold of the Reds' attacking prowess. But that's the second week in a row that Fosu-Mensah has done very well in difficult circumstances. One went against Liverpool, where they defended a hell of a lot, and one where they conceded 3 goals. So very, very pleased. I'm just very pleased that already, again, I talk about this a lot, cherry on the cake, cherry on the cake, cherry on the cake. Everything about United's season so far, and it's very young, and as Mata says, there's still 36 games to go, but we're getting cherries on the cake. Instead of that game finishing 1-0, we finish it off and get 3 more goals. Fosu-Mensah goes on loan and plays the first 2 games and plays well. Martial comes off the bench and absolutely stunning performances. Pogba's improved. We spoke about this a month ago, that yeah, signing Matic and Lukaku is important, and Lindelof, but it's almost like a new season for Pogba, Mkhitaryan and Martial, because they had and Pereira coming back, because they had mixed seasons last year. Well, we've all hit the nail on the head, because Mkhitaryan's got 4 assists in 2 games. Pogba's exceeding what he did last year. Martial from the bench is exceeding what he did last year. Our new signings have been fantastic. As I said, Fosu-Mensah on loan doing great things. Everything United touch at the moment is going well. There are going to be dips in the road. Mourinho said it. There will be dips in the road, but I'm very happy with it. Tom Herod says our weakest position is Blind. We need an attacking left back. I thought Blind did quite well yesterday. He just doesn't have that pace to get forwards. He's got the best cross out of anybody in the team. The corner came from his cross, but he just doesn't have the pace to get forward into the positions that Valencia does. If you could combine the two, you'd have the perfect fullback, because if Valencia could whip a cross in like Blind can, you know, we've got Lukaku to attach that, what I call the danger zone, which you should have seen on the tactics show. If not, I'll do it later in the week. Talk about Lindelof, says Fionn Curtin. 2 games. Look, I'm not getting oversight. I'm not saying United are going to win the league. I think we'll beat Leicester next week, and I think we'll be in exactly the same situation where we were last year. International break, 9 points. So I'm not going to get overexcited, because there's still a hell of a lot of season to go. We're playing 1 game a week at the moment. It's very easy to keep the intensity levels up. What happens when the Champions League comes back? Is that Swansea game we've just played as easy if we've just played in the Champions League 3 days before and Swansea have had a whole week off? So there are a lot of things that are in my head that make me don't get carried away. And on the flip side, I'm not getting carried away about the fact that Herrera's hardly playing, that Lindelof's not playing, that Pereira's not on the bench, because as I said yesterday, I think the season really starts after the international break, and can we keep that momentum going? Which I believe we can. I think this is going to be a great season for United, but Lindelof, Herrera, Pereira, I believe they will have big parts to play in United's season, and it's a buzzing squad, as Mkhitaryan said. So early days, I would not have any concerns if we pick the same team against Leicester next week and the same subs come on and we win, and then we go into the international break. It starts for me in September, when you start getting, you know, a good run of games, Champions League's back, League Cup's back, and you're playing weekend midweek. That's when it really starts. Our first big game, Benny, well, it could potentially be in the Champions League. We don't know what the draw is yet, but as Xander said yesterday, it's Liverpool in October. So we have got a really good run of games, which I did want to actually discuss. So it's comfortably top of the league now with West Brom. It's early days is what I would say. But so the fixtures really after Leicester. We come back on Saturday the 9th of September away to Stoke at 5:30 kickoff. So we saw what Stoke did to Arsenal. We know that Hughes and Stoke again were one of the teams last year who took 4 points off us. 2 draws, I think it was. One of the games at Old Trafford we should have won, and then obviously Rooney's late free kick to break the record back in January. So that's a tough game, Stoke away. People say we should win it. Well, Arsenal didn't win it. And to be honest, if you watch that, very, very funny, but Arsenal should have had 2 penalties, and they absolutely battered Stoke. But, you know, it just shows you. Followed by Everton at home, which Rooney's return, and Everton are much improved. That will be a challenge. Then Southampton away, which again, a challenge. You know, it's not easy to go to Southampton and win. So that's a challenge. And then we've got Crystal Palace at home, which, to be honest, I think we should win. Then we go into another international break, and we come back from that international break. I don't like this. This happened last season. So the second international break, we come back from it with a lunchtime Saturday kickoff away to Liverpool. I don't like that. This happened to us a couple of times last year. In fact, I think it happened with Liverpool at the same time last year. We had an international break. We come into a game against Liverpool cold, not in a run. We also had it with City at our place. So that's difficult. But then we've got Huddersfield away, and then we've got Spurs at home. So there are challenges. I disagree with people saying, oh, we should win every game up until Liverpool, because we've got Stoke away, we've got Southampton away, and Everton at home. They could be tough games. But we'll just see. I'm very, very happy with what United are doing at the moment, and I think everybody else should be as well. Right, One Football app, link in the video description. Make sure you give that a download and get your latest United news, and you can have a look at your stats. We're back again tonight at 8 o'clock with the Sunday Night Live show. Do I think... Somebody just said, you started on Griezmann, finish on Griezmann. Look, Griezmann should have come to Manchester United. I loved Griezmann up until the point that he snubbed us. I thought he was absolutely perfect. He's one of my favourite players in world football. He would have fitted United and the number 7 shirt like a glove. The fact that Mourinho's managed to salvage that transfer window and get us competitive when our biggest target we'd been working on for months, you know, led us up the garden alley and then ran off loyalty or not, was disappointing, and I think it disrupted our transfer window. And I think, you know, we should always remember that if we do have a good season, it's also an even bigger achievement because of what happened to us this year because of Griezmann. Does Griezmann regret it? I predicted it straight away, as I said at the start of the video. Very easy in the start of June to be Mr. Moral and sign the contract for big money. When the season starts and reality bites, I said it at the time. Why stay? Why stay at Atletico Madrid? You're not going to win the league. You're not going to win the Champions League. And you're going to have to work really hard because it's a hard-working team. You could have come to United. You should have ignored anything about last year in the way we played because it was always going to improve when Mourinho had a proper year in charge. We've got players who are playing much better. We've got new signings. You drop Griezmann into that Mata or Mkhitaryan position, and he would absolutely, you know, we might be winning the last 2 games 6 or 7-0 because he's that good. So if he looks at that and regrets it, he's only got himself to blame. And I still feel quite frustrated that he didn't come. I can't honestly sit here and say that I'd rather we didn't have him because as much as I like Mkhitaryan and Mata, they are very good players. Griezmann's on another level. So I am frustrated that he didn't come, but I'm glad that he's potentially frustrated by it as well and sees the mistake he made. But that's life. People make mistakes. Maybe he will come to us in the summer. He's certainly not going to be coming to us anytime before next summer, and we need to probably make another signing in the next few days. It can't be Griezmann, as many of you said when I spoke about him a couple of weeks ago. By signing the new contract, he actually put his release clause up, doubled it to 200 million. We won't be doing that. So he's got to live with the mistake he made, and we have got to live with the reality that we now have to live in, which at the moment is a fantastic reality. I would go out and sign another player. I would potentially also still be looking at getting a backup for Valencia. But we'll see. Elliot Hobday still wants Griezmann at United. You know what? I probably still do want Griezmann at United, but we've got to deal with the fact that he's not here this season, and that's his fault. And if he regrets that, that's his fault. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back tonight at 8 o'clock. Andrew Lineker said he lost the chance and now we move on. Exactly. We've got to live in the now, not the future. We've got 2 weeks of a transfer window left. That's the now. Then we've got the reality of no transfer window really till next May. And then we focus on the football, which we are at the moment, which is what I'm very focused on. I'll speak to you all later. 8 o'clock Sunday Night Live, unless something happens in the day. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. And thanks everybody for watching. Really good time to be a United fan at the moment. And enjoy it is what I would say. And keep getting involved in the community. Keep spreading the word. And subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner hologram. Click and subscribe. And make sure you've clicked that bell because we do go live a lot and you need to get that notification. Thanks for watching. You're all fantastic.